Effective lesson planning is the foundation for good instruction. What are you teaching? What are students learning? More importantly, what do we expect students to be able to do? And when? It can be overwhelming. Creating SMART goals for your lessons can help with that. Let's take a closer look at how SMART goals can improve lesson planning and ultimately overall instruction. Special announcement for DMV viewers. The Teacher is holding a community event in the Montgomery County, Maryland area. Great guest speakers, resources, vendors, and light refreshments will be present. Space is limited, so please RSVP ASAP. The EventBrite link is in the description below. We hope to see you there. Now, back to our regular programming. So let's jump right into creating SMART goals in education. This is a short presentation, so it gives an introduction, overview, and some, basic understanding and implementation methods. But let's jump right into the definition. So we're gonna jump right into the agenda. So the agenda, we have the definition of SMART goals. We have a purpose and benefits. We have some examples, implementation steps, along with keys to remember. Okay, so what are SMART goals? It's an acronym meaning specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound, right? So your goal should be specific, clear, and focused. It shouldn't be arbitrary. It shouldn't be ambiguous. It should be clear and focused. It should be measurable, whether it's in a some type of quantifiable indicator, a percentage, a target number, what have you. It should be measurable. It should be something that when the objective has been completed is easily assessed as to whether you met the objective or not. It should be achievable, realistic, and attainable. This comes from an understanding of what the skill is you're trying to teach, or content, what have you, as well as your student population. If your student population is third grade and they're reading on a kindergarten level, saying that, they're going to achieve a grade level proficiency in 2 months is not realistic. It's not attainable. You're just going to frustrate yourself and frustrate the kids. So it needs to be attainable and achievable. It needs to be relevant, connected to learning outcomes. It's not arbitrary. It's not just some random goal. It should be aligned to the specific learning outcomes, skill sets, content, whatever it is you're trying to teach the kids, there should be some alignment to it. And then it should be time bound. It could be short term, it could be long term, but it needs to be time bound. It's not an infinite period of time that this goal will exist. The reason it's SMART is because you're trying to meet this goal so you can create another goal and continue the growth, rather than this elongated time frame. Oh, by the end of the year, students, will blah, blah, blah. That's too long of a period, because by the time you get to the end of the year, you don't have any chance for corrective instruction. You see what I mean? So you need to make your SMART goals time bound. It can be short term or long term, but even with long term, you want to have short term in between in order to be able to foster the growth. So what's the classroom purpose? It supports clear expectations for students. What are we learning today? What are we going to do today? What are we do? It's annoying, right? So if you use SMART goals, they're up on the board. The kids, and they're clear, defined. They get used to it. They get used to the format. The kids walk in, they look on the board. Okay, we're doing this, and this today. Okay, bet. It helps track academic growth and progress, because now you have these individual goals. You can track exactly who met those goals, who may need corrective instruction, who may need differentiation. It improves student motivation and ownership. They know what their expectations are. So, okay, boom, I can do this. And it creates ownership, because if they meet that goal, they're empowered and motivated to meet the next goal, right? It also gives them ownership, because that SMART goal is attainable it's time bound, and it's clear. So you've created a situation where I've given you the resources, we've set the goal, I've given you the resources in order to meet this specific goal. You can take ownership of your learning at that point, and it creates consistent instructional focus. Okay. So what are the benefits for teachers? It clarifies instructional priorities. Again, kids don't have to ask you every day, what are we doing today? What are we doing today? Improves lesson planning and assessment alignment, because now if I'm creating, let's say I create 3 SMART goals for the week, when I do my assessment, I'm measuring those 3 things that we said we were going to achieve. I don't have to wonder, oh, what are we going to assess? No. And I know I can almost predict how those scores are going to be because we've done these SMART goals along the way. It supports data-driven decision-making and provides measurable checkpoints for intervention. This one is key because, like I said, if you're waiting to the end of the semester or the end of the quarter in order to, provide interventions, it's too late. You're already moving on to the next concepts, the next unit. It's too late. So you have to have these SMART goals in between in order to ensure that the kids are ready for that transition. And you can provide differentiation and interventions in the in-between time. Excuse me. All right, benefits for students: promotes accountability and self-monitoring, provides a roadmap for success, builds confidence through measurable progress, and encourages goal-setting habits beyond the classroom. SMART goals can be applied across the board. They can be applied to anything. So kids can pick up on the format of the SMART goals. You can even teach them how to create SMART goals for themselves. You know what? I will, make sure my teeth are brushed every day, 3 times a day for the next 2 weeks. It sounds like very elementary, but if that's a skill you're trying to teach the kids, at home or what have you, so the SMART goal can allow kids to take ownership of their own life, really, by setting goals for themselves on a personal manner. So examples of SMART goals, what does it look like? Students will improve reading fluency by 15% within 8 weeks, right? So we see this 8-week period, right? So we're going to have 8 weeks of focusing on reading fluency. And within those 8 weeks, believe it or not, we're going to have many SMART goals that are going to foster the reading fluency. We'll be able to measure that over that 8-week period. Maybe we do it once a week where we can have a SMART goal for each week leading up to the 8 weeks to know whether or not we're ready for that ultimate SMART goal. Students will solve multi-step equations with 90% accuracy by the end of the unit, right? So again, we would have smaller goals in between the end of the unit, but the ultimate goal is by the end of the unit, 90% accuracy for all students. We see it's specific. We have reading fluency. It's measurable. 15%. It's achievable. 8 weeks is a long time. It's relevant. We're assuming that it's a ELA class of some sort, and it's time-based. 8 weeks. And then last but not least, students will complete and submit 95% of assignments on time this semester, right? So you're constantly measuring that. Each week you're saying, oh, you only submitted 50%. We need to increase that. How can we increase that? So we're putting these interventions in purposely to help us meet these SMART goals rather than arbitrarily, and we have no end goal in mind, right? And again, goals can be short-term or long-term. So steps to implement a SMART goal, these are in ascending order. You want to identify the learning objectives. What are we doing? What are we doing? What skill are we focused on? What content are we focused on? Then break objectives into specific targets. Like we saw there, we saw the reading fluency. We saw the multi-step problems. So we want to break it down so we can measure these specific targets, define measurable criteria. How are we going to determine success for the goal, set realistic expectations. We talked about that. Establish timelines, review and adjust goals regularly. So this is what we were reiterating. Even with long-term goals, you want to review the goal. Are we getting close to there? We may be a month in to that 8-week goal. So we're at like halfway there, right? And we realize, ooh, we're not going to make our goal. Do we need to readjust it? It's not lowering expectations. It's making it realistic expectations, right? So if I see, okay, no matter what intervention I do, we're not going to hit this number. I'm not going to leave that number just for the sake of leaving that number. It serves no purpose. Who are you trying to impress? We're not trying to impress anybody. We want tangible and realistic expectations for our students. So we come to the student and say, hey, this was our goal. We're going to have to readjust it. And then, the next 8 weeks, we may try to shoot for a higher number. So you're constantly reviewing and adjusting the goals. So keys to remember: clarity drives success. Measurement does matter. Keep the goals realistic and achievable. Align them with learning outcomes. Use time frames to maintain focus. Monitor progress regularly. Encourage student ownership. And SMART goals support data-driven teaching. This is an overview of SMART goals. You can explore it further on your own, or you can, dive deeper with your team and colleagues. Thank you. We hope that was helpful. As you can see, SMART goals can be useful and impactful. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.